Hello students, welcome back to geography class. So I know we're starting geography after a very long break. We've been learning economics for a very long time. But to give you a quick recap, up till now in this chapter, what have you learned? You have seen the modern means of transport and communication, and they serve as lifelines of our nation and its modern economy. These are the lifelines of our nation. There is a dense and efficient network of transport and communication, and it is a prerequisite for local, national, and global trade. Okay, so up till now we saw the different means of transport. We saw how they are classified, and I was so happy to know so many of you kids have sent me such beautiful flow charts that you all have made in your notebooks, such great illustration. I would love to share a few of it. Probably next class, I will share a few of it, which all have done such a great job. Okay. So today, without wasting more time, today we are going to be focusing on the roadways. Okay. We are going to be focusing on the roadways, that is a means of transport on the land. So basically, roadways, India has one of the largest road networks in the world. We have around 2 to 3 million kilometers of roadways at present in India. Roadways, they have preceded railways. That means they came before the railways. Okay, railways came afterwards. And roadways, they still, even today, they have an edge over the railways because of the ease with which roadways can be built and maintained. Okay, so the growing importance of road transport via rail transport in comparison to rail transport. The reasons why roadways are more important than rail transport are: number one, the construction cost. Now, the construction cost of a road is much lower than that of a railway line. So, people prefer to build roadways. Number two, roads can traverse comparatively more dissected and undulating topology. That means if you have to make a road in valley or on a mountain or in a rugged area, it's easier to make because they traverse easily compared to a railway. Roads can also negotiate higher gradients of slopes as such, and they can traverse mountains such as the Himalayas. So, in any sort of a topology, a road can find its way out. Road transport is also economical. That means uh, more people can afford it. It's economical in transportation of few people and relatively smaller amount of goods over short distances. So, but obvious, if you were to go to any place in Bombay, which is less than 2 kilometers apart, you are not going to be going to a railway station, boarding a train, and going. You definitely prefer roadways, and today it is one of the most used means of transport for all of us. Although most of us, we may have parents who are traveling daily in railways, we may know relatives, we may know cousins, we may know people who commute daily in railways to their workplace. I agree, but if they actually compare, they will be spending more time on on the roadways, because on the weekends or on any other day, even daily commute that we have, we not prefer, but roadways is a natural way. That's the first thing. If you get out of your house, you're first on the road. Okay, so it is an economical transportation, and also it is good for few people and small goods. It also provides door to door services, and so the cost of loading and unloading is more low. And road transport is also used as a feeder. Road transport is also used as a feeder to other modes of transport. That means if you want to go to the railway station, you will use the road to go to the railway station. If you want to go to the airport, to use an aeroplane, to use the means of transport of air, but you will first use the road. if you want to go to you want to go to a cruise, you're going boating, you will first use the roads to reach there. So basically, road transport becomes a feeder to other modes of transport. They provide a link between the railway station, air routes, and seaport. Okay, so road transport, it has the merit of offering personal services too, and they also facilitate the transport of perishable goods across different areas. So these are all the advantages, or importance of roadways in India, or why are roadways more flourishing than railways, or why are they more important than railways. Now in India, roads are classified in 6 classes according to their capacity, and 2 classes according to the material they use. The 6 classes that they are classified according to their capacity or significance is golden quadrilateral, okay, golden quadrilateral superhighways, GQSH. Okay, the government basically launched a major road project from Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, Mumbai, and back to Delhi. Okay, and these are by 6 lane super highways. Okay, so these highways, these high super highways are the golden quadrilateral super highways, and its most important reason is to reduce the time and distance between the mega cities of India. Okay, now the next uh, classification or segmentation is the national highway. Now, national highways, they link the extreme parts of the country. They are the primary road system that are laid. Okay, so they basically link north to south and east to west. Okay, what did the golden quadrilateral do? It linked, it made a road from Delhi to Calcutta to Chennai to Mumbai and back to Delhi, and it is a 6 lane superhighway. And national highway are the roads that link uh, extreme parts of a country, that is north to south and east to west. Okay, then the next we have is state highways. Now state highways are roads that link a state capital with different district headquarters. Okay, so these are the roads that link, for example, Mumbai with other parts of Maharashtra. Okay, so they link the state capital with different district headquarters. Next we have is district roads. Now these roads, they connect the district headquarters, like for example Pune, with other places of district. These roads, okay, these are the roads that connect the district headquarters with other places of the district. And then we have other roads. These other roads are basically the rural roads. Okay, and these link the rural areas and villages with towns. Okay, so these are the major 6 roads, and of course the last one is the border road. What does the border road? Apart from all these, we have the border roads. Okay, and these roads, they are basically they were developed in the northern and the northern eastern border areas. All right, now besides this, roads are also classified according to the material used, that is pakka and kacha. Okay, so metalled and unmetalled roads. Metalled roads are made of cement. Okay, and unmetalled roads, they are made out of they are not made out of cement, and they are very easily weathered. All right, so these are basically all the classification of roads. Now look at these pictures over here. The first picture, this is the golden quadrilateral. Okay, this is the golden quadrilateral project. I request you to go search for it on YouTube and have a look. Next class, I will ask you a few questions about it. This is national highways in India. These are the state highways, and these are the district roads. Now over here, number 1, this one is the other rural roads, and these 2, 2, 3, 4, and 5, these are the border roads. Okay, so the first road that we learned was the Golden Quadrilateral Superhighway. These are the largest highway projects in India, and they are the 5th in the world. First phase, first phase of the uh, national highway uh, sorry, NHDP. The first phase of NHDP was launched in 2001 by Atal Bihari Vajpayee under NDA and was completed in January 2012. All right. Now, like I have told you before, it is a 6-lane superhighway, and the north and south corridors, it links Srinagar and Kanyakumari, and the east and west corridor, it connects Silchar in Assam to Porbandar in Gujarat. They are both a part of this project, and the major objective of these superhighways was to reduce the time and distance between the mega cities of India. Okay, these highways project are being implemented by the National Highway Authority of India. So here you can see the Golden Quadrilateral. These are the 6-lane super highways. The north and south, it connects Sri Lanka in Jammu and Kashmir, Srinagar in Jammu and Kashmir to Kanyakumari in Tamil Nadu. East to west, you can see Silchar in Assam and Porbandar in Gujarat. You can see the blue and the green, and then you have the 6-lane. So these were the 2 lanes: Srinagar, Kanyakumari, Porbandar, Silchar. These are the 2 lanes, and plus 4 more. That is Delhi to Kolkata, Kolkata to Chennai, Chennai to Mumbai, and Mumbai to Delhi. This is the Golden Quadrilateral. All right. Okay. GQSH. What's the full form of GQSH? Golden Quadrilateral Super Highway. It has corridors and quadrilaterals. Right here, I showed you. You can see this blue line is a corridor. This green line is a corridor, and this red line is a golden quadrilateral, just like it's given in the legend key right here. So it is a project which links the 4 metropolitan cities, that is Delhi, Calcutta, Chennai, Mumbai, by 6 lanes superhighway. The north-south corridors, they link Srinagar and Kanyakumari. East-west corridor connects Silchar and Porbandar. Okay, and it is a part of this. And the objective was to reduce the time and distance between megacities of India. It is maintained by the National Highway Authority of India. Okay. Okay, the next classification of road network in India was the national highways. And these national highways, they link the extreme parts of the country. So these are the primary road systems that are laid and they are maintained by the Central Public Works Department, CPWD. A large number of national highways run in the north, south, and the east, west direction. Okay, lots of national highways, they are running from north to south, east to west direction. The historical Sher Shah Suri Marg is called National Highway number 1, and it is from Delhi to Amritsar. So your research work today is to find out the places linked by the National Highway number 2 and 3. I repeat, your research work today is to find out the places linked by National Highway number 2 and 3, and you will write it down in your notebooks. Number 1 is given to you, 2 and 3 you will find out. One important fact to know is that the National Highway number 7, it is the longest and it traverses approximately 2,369 kilometers between Varanasi and Kanyakumari. It passes through Jabalpur, Nagpur, Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Madurai. Delhi and Mumbai are connected by National Highway number 8, while National Highway number 15 covers most of the Rajasthan. So this is another important fact that you should keep in mind and learn. So I request you to make one part of your notebook, one page of your notebook, write down national highways, write down their numbers, and write down the places they connect. And if there is any additional fact, like National Highway number 7 has the kilometers and the places it passes through, these facts will help you. If you keep them handy, it will help you in good revision work. Okay. So we are not going to do state highways. From that, we'll do in the next class. With this, I end today's class. Remember, you have to see a video on golden quadrilateral. I will ask you one fact-based question next class. Okay, and next class, I will also share with you the wonderful work that you kids have done and shared with me, on the when I had given you to make flow charts and you all have done it. I will share a few of that with you. With this, I end today's class. Children, stay home, stay safe, take care, keep learning. Thank you.